Hey everyone, this is the Biology Daily Update for Friday, the 24th of April. Today we are having our Google Meet, so there's not much that needs to be said. You're going to join us and review. Please join us at the appropriate time for your class using the link on Classroom. Please come, and if for some reason you might not be able to, then you should have contacted me yesterday. But frankly, contact me before the meeting, and that's better than contacting me after the meeting, and we'll see what happens with a big question mark. The answer to yesterday's question. Let's see, the question was, based on modern evolutionary theory, the development of a new species would most likely be associated with, and it gives you four things. Most likely. So if something on there, has the possibility of having to do with a new species, but is not, a common way for it to happen, then we're going to ignore it. So let's just go down them. A constant environment. Constant environment doesn't seem like it would cause much change. If there's an environment that's changing, it might, cause the thing that is advantageous, that is fit, to change as well. So that might cause some change in our creatures. So probably not that one, because constant, not much change. Stable, unchanging gene pools. Well, we just said constant, not much change. So if the gene pools of the creatures don't change, there is no evolution. That's just, evolution involves change in gene pools. It involves change in the genes of creatures. So that one doesn't make sense. No evolution, and it would be very much impossible for two new species to form. Let's see. Separation of their environments. This seems like a good bet. We have separation, and then the environments could be somewhat different, and then they could influence the species differently and push them in different directions. So that's going to be our correct answer. Let's just take a look at why the other one's wrong, though, because that's always good to know. A lack of mutations. Okay, so not getting any new mutations will not cause speciation. There's nothing changing there. A lack of new mutations would just mean that there's no particular change happening from mutation. That would not invoke speciation. I suppose if somehow you had a species that didn't mutate at all, this is first of all impossible, but let's say that you had that. I suppose you could separate it into two groups, and instead of mutations, you just have, in one group, some alleles become lost because the parents with them don't have kids. And so it's not a mutation, it's just they're going away because the creatures that carried them disappear. And so a lot of alleles become extinct in that population, and in the other population, a different set of alleles become extinct. I suppose, in that hypothetical, it is just barely possible for... There could be ways to be like, oh, a lot of the important proteins for the egg and sperm getting together got lost from this one group, so they don't anymore with the other group. That might be an edge case, but again, it's not the lack of mutations that's doing it. It's actually, in that case, kind of the genetic drift or, the mate selection thing. Excuse me, still allergic. So yeah, that wouldn't make sense. I suppose there could also be an edge case for if creatures have a constant environment, they could still split into two species. It wouldn't cause it, so it's not a good answer. But let's say that they have a constant environment, but maybe the two groups start to do different sexual selection. Because it's actually been found that creatures more often do sexual selection in a constant environment, in a environment of plenty. When there's not much danger, you've got to try selecting for mates that are good in other ways than, oh, they were good enough to survive, because that tends to make the species stronger. Not all species do that, but those that do not do it tend to die out. So it's species-level natural selection. Okay, anyway, hopefully you've got why that's the right answer, separation of their environments, which means that they might start evolving in different directions, because the separation is the first thing that has to happen. Environments can also count as, like, what other creatures are around you and stuff. Alright, anyway, have fun, don't die, and hopefully everybody is doing as well as they can be. Have fun!